Glass is the latest film from director M. Night Shyamalan, the director of Split and Unbreakable. And this is his first traditional sequel, after Split shocked everyone and wound up being a surprise sequel to Unbreakable. Seeing Split is still probably one of the best experiences I've had at the movies, as a friend and I had just by chance seen Unbreakable the day before. So we were just stunned when the big twist came at the end of Split, having no idea the films were connected. So of course there's been a lot of hype for Glass. Shyamalan has been hyping up Unbreakable as a trilogy for nearly 20 years, and he's right in the middle of a comeback. So does Glass deliver? Yes and no. For one, I will say I still dug the film, but I do have my issues with it. It's a smaller sequel than people were probably expecting. It was made on $20 million that Shyamalan financed himself. So while there's a bit more freedom compared to Split, it's definitely a step down from Unbreakable in terms of how much can be achieved. The film follows David Dunn, Mr. Glass, and the Beast coming into contact in a mental hospital, where they are being treated by a psychiatrist played by Sarah Paulson for thinking they have superpowers. Glass brings back a lot of the interesting mythology from Unbreakable about comic book superheroes that were based on real life people. And as with Unbreakable, a lot of that mythology gets left on Mr. Glass to explain. This is definitely more of an Unbreakable sequel than necessarily a Split one, as the horror thriller aspects take a backseat to the superhero drama style that Unbreakable owned. Aside from a few interesting locations in the first act, the movie is primarily set in the mental hospital and keeps everything contained. While this setup works for something like Split, as horror movies are often forced to make the most of a single location with a lower budget in mind. In Glass, this does limit some of the bigger philosophical ideas that are presented. As with Unbreakable, this movie purposely follows and subverts comic book tropes, so fans will definitely appreciate that aspect. It definitely keeps things interesting and in line with what Unbreakable was about. At the same time, it can definitely make things frustrating and a bit disappointing, especially in the third act. This movie definitely has its positives though, that had me leaving the movie still having enjoyed it. The setup and reintroduction to David Dunn is fantastic. Seeing what this character has been doing for 19 years is fascinating. Bruce Willis definitely cares a bit more when he works with Shyamalan. Also, the use of old, unused Unbreakable footage was really quite neat to see as well. James McAvoy is still the MVP here, where he is tasked with portraying even more varying personalities than what was required in Split, and he pulls off each personality flawlessly, where I really wish he'd be given more recognition for his performances, because what he's pulled off is extremely difficult. There are actors who have trouble portraying characters that aren't themselves, let alone 20 different personalities. Also, seeing Mr. Glass's plan unfold over the film was really interesting to see, and had a satisfying feel towards the end, at least for me. But the movie falters in many areas, particularly where the movie's twists are concerned, which I won't spoil. None are particularly shocking or jaw-dropping like the reveal at the end of Split. Here it's a bit more nuanced, but also feels underdeveloped and a little rushed. The reveals that did occur left me wanting a bit more, and although they fell in line with the mythology that had been built up, they still felt like a bit of a wasted opportunity. This is one of the times when the Shyamalan twist doesn't quite pay off as well as it could have. The movie also takes a long time to get to Mr. Glass as well, which, considering the movie is called Glass, feels very bizarre. McAvoy feels like he gets the most attention, which is fine. I love watching the Beast and all the different personalities, but Mr. Glass is a beloved Samuel L. Jackson character that he clearly enjoys playing. So it feels bizarre that the movie takes a while to get to him, and also makes a lot of bizarre plot retreads regarding the character that we'd already seen in Unbreakable. There's definitely some fun fan service moments for fans of Unbreakable and Split. Past supporting characters are handled quite nicely, offering even more depth than we really get from the main characters here, where a lot of character development is left to supporting characters talking about David, Glass, and Kevin. So we learn more about our main characters from the supporting ones. At times you do get a bit of the clunky Shyamalan dialogue though, where he tries to make exposition feel more natural, but it's more just characters trying to tell the audience things rather than being shown them. Sometimes it works thanks to the delivery from actors like James McAvoy, but other actors aren't quite on that level, so dialogue winds up feeling a bit cliche. Ultimately, Glass is a movie that is still enjoyable, it just doesn't quite live up to its potential, and may leave some fans feeling a bit deflated and disappointed. I definitely still dug my time with it, and would recommend fans going to see it. Others who aren't invested in this trilogy might not get a great deal out of it, aside from the incredible McAvoy performance. It's definitely more of an above mid-level Shyamalan film, not quite Unbreakable or Split, but leaps and bounds above some of the garbage that Shyamalan has put out. Glass gets a 6.3 out of 10 from me. Guys, I hope you like this review. If you want to see more reviews just like this one, stay right here for your Money Fix. Bye guys.